myself comfy. I've had to change locations because I did not have a phone charged, and so this is how it can reach a phone charger. So, how you doing? Hi Christina, hello. So this is my 9 a.m. What's that, like 3:20 p.m? Yeah. Oopsie daisies. As I said, look, I might have overpromised on the 9 a.m. show up. I will do it definitely at some point. We'll see. Hey Nipper, nice to see your name pop up. All right. But it was, maybe I'm just an attention seeker, right? Because it was pretty nice when, look, I did have every intention to show up every morning. But, you know, the backup plan is, that's great, aim high, and you sort of just, you fall still on an everyday show up. And that's really the whole point of it. Yeah, and so being the attention seeker, I did quite like that, when it's like, hey, I came to watch the video and it's not here, and because that sort of stuff really does like fire me up. It's like, all right, that's definitely what needs to happen then. Hi Ray. Hey, you look glowy and glorious. Perfect, nailed my look. It's the thank you. It is a little bit of the old trick of have natural light coming onto your face. But let's just say it's the true essence. So this is part 2 of the series that I have named What I Wish We All Knew. And the What I Wish We All Knew part is basically around what makes us tick as humans, what sort of like gets in our way of our healing and our health and our connection with other people, and calling in the desired states and things that we want. Yeah, and these are the things that I've learned over, 10 plus years of working with people. Because if you do your own inner realm journey, that's amazing, and you get to learn about yourself and therefore other people. But I've got this beautiful insight into having gone quite deep into my own inner realm journey, forced sometimes. But also seeing other people's too. And so then you get to see where the patterns and the themes are through the collective as opposed to just the singular person. And you get to join all of these dots that you might not necessarily otherwise be able to join if it was just your own personal journey. So that is the gift that I have been given access to, and that's my message to share. Langers, hello, I see you. All right, so this is a big topic that I've chosen today, and as I said in yesterday's video, I don't know how it's going to go delivering it, because usually what happens is in a session, someone's got like a particular, so how humans relate is how we actually relate to each other. So how we interact, how we hear what the other person is saying, and how, it's then taken through our energy field and possibly distorted. So there's that side of it. And there's also the side of how we can get triggered off by other interaction with other people because of some raw nerve-ending type unhealed aspects of ourself in our own energy field. So I suppose they're the two angles. That's tangible enough for me to run with. They're the two angles of this. So recapping, we have this physical body that we can see, touch, feel, whatever. We also then, outside of that, is an extension of, or really this physical is the end result of the energy field coming in, but we've got an energy body as well. And in that energy body lives all sorts of aspects of us, that lives our unhealed wounds and lives our beliefs about self. So I'm sure this is a super simplistic way, someone involved in quantum physics or I mean, who's doing the work on this? I'm not sure. This is how I see it. This is how I describe it. So if you hear other people describe it, you know, you always take what resonates, run it through your field and choose what feels right for you. But this is how I've been shown it, and this is how I work with people with this stuff. So, physical body, energetic body. When we are talking to someone, I'm just working which angle to take this from. I'll go the other angle first. So we're getting around, you know, getting around with your physical body, just moving around with your energetic body. Let's think of it as like a bubble that we're getting around with. It's so much more expansive than just a bubble, but that sort of helps. And you have an interaction, you see something happen, or you have an interaction with somebody. What they say to you is run essentially before it reaches you or your mind, or, you know, however we actively process these interactions, it gets run through your energy field first. And so if that person or whatever they've said is sort of like a particular, it sort of energetically matches up to a little bit of an unhealed wound or a belief system that you have active in your framework, which I spoke a lot about that yesterday in part 1. What happens is it gets run through your energy field, and that belief almost distorts it, so you receive it based on how your belief distorts that. So that's you know, that's like when I start to see this stuff and I know this stuff, it's like, how do we get along at all? It's like, Andre, hi. Because how are we getting along at all because the flip side of that is that person, what they've expressed or shared or spoken, as that left their mouth, that actually ran through their energy field, picked up all of their stuff that was sort of like related to, landed in your energy field filtered it as per its framework and design, and then it hits you, and that is what you hear. That is what you hear of what they've said or what they need or what they meant. So it's all, you know, super subtle. It's not that we're like totally like living this you know, illusion of life, but you can see how messages get confused, and you can see how when we are operating from an unhealed inner world perspective, it's no wonder a lot of the time we don't feel heard, or you feel like no one understands me, or I just can't get my message across. It's because of this sort of way of interacting. So what we do is this inner realm work. We go in and we work on what exists in your energy field, and we just, through how I do it, heaps of people do it all differently. How I do it is we just do a lot of talking, and I can sort of pick up, and I'm guided when I'm sort of in that energetic container, which is a healing session. I'm guided to the parts of you that hold these beliefs that are ready, or the unhealed wound, which is ready to be transmuted into your own inner gold, but the wound aspect of it can then be released. It's super interesting. So that's sort of like an introduction to that aspect of how humans relate. The other aspect is for people in our lives who, how do I describe this bit? So this bit is not so much how humans relate, but how humans relate to the world around them, right? My human self right now is being like, I don't see how this isn't really relative to what I'm saying, but it wants to be said, so I'll share it. There's also our These inner frameworks, which, as I described yesterday, a lot of them are built on a survival response to an uncomfortable thing we heard or experienced when we were younger. And you know, uncomfortable thing is like a sliding scale of like uncomfortable, and then at the very far end is overt trauma, obviously, you know. So that they leave, as I said yesterday, they leave imprints in the energy field, and from that experience, a core belief is formed, and that becomes part of your framework in your energy body that exists, and that's what you perceive the world through. Now, what it also does, and it's usually a response, it's there, the survival aspect of it is there because it wants to keep you safe. And to keep you safe is to keep you in the known. And to keep you safe is not necessarily just referring to, you know, so you don't fall down a well, or so that you're not in physical harm. It's sort of like the emotionally safe as well. No, I'll leave it there for that for sure. And so when we have these beliefs living in our energy field, what it's also doing is it is almost like, so say the belief is that you're not worthy, right? What happens is it wants to keep you safe, but being safe is to be in the known, right? So the existence of the belief that you are not worthy actually self-perpetuates itself, because it's like a radar constantly searching to match up to that belief. Because then it's like, ding, 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 gotcha. Yep. Oh, okay, that resonates. Yep, where that's really known to us. That's truth to us. Therefore, we are all good. So it's actually looking for, it's searching like a radar. Is a radar the right thing? I think so, a radar. Yeah, so it's like you see on the movies, the radar, and when it hits, there's a thing, it goes ding, ding, ding. Yep, it's a radar. It's searching through your every second of your life, going, okay, I'm just needing to find this because I'm on the lookout for you. Ding, ding, gotcha. And so because it's a survival instinct, it's a high priority, right? And so it sees those things, it sees the storylines that match up to I am not worthy over and above all the other bits. So, yeah, that's why it's like you're wearing glasses that distort how you view the world and your interactions with the world, but you don't even know you're wearing those glasses because it's doing all of this unconsciously. And so that is where I see such deep value in doing this, you know, the energy body work and the inner realm work, because it starts to weed these out, and we start to, like, you know, it's a journey. As I said yesterday, it's going around a mountain, and we visit the same topic many times when they're the deep issues, not all the issues, some are just ready to go. But it's when we get to it and we sort of like be able to almost like pull it out by its roots when it's ready to be done, your perception of your whole life changes, because you don't have this survival mechanism scanning your life to match up to almost like, it's not trying to prove it to you by in a way of going, haha, I fucking told you you're worthless. It's just trying to, it thinks it's protecting you. But the end result that happens is it proves to you time and time and time again, using this example, that you're not worthy. And so that's what you will see over and over again. So this is super powerful work. And you're not worthy is just one example, but it's a very relatable one. And it's one that I see a lot in the people that come through. So in the two humans relating to each other space, it's really great. And this is where I think tomorrow we'll talk about energetic boundaries, because this is where it's starting to merge to wanting to talk about the energetic boundaries as well. So when we are starting to do this work, it's really amazing when we reach the point of going, okay, well, I'm going to start to put up my energetic boundaries, because then what happens is I get to, instead of being like, we're not taught this, and my God, there's like, when there's no energetic boundaries, it's like all of our energies are just merging in, and we're, you know, the wounds all go in there, and the emotionally charged shit goes in there, and we're just reacting all over the place, and we don't even know what we're reacting to. Our mind will try and find things. It's like, yeah, I'm reacting because he's a dick, or I'm reacting because she treated me like shit, or I'm reacting because they don't understand me, you know, all sorts of things. You know, or I'm reacting because our premier's an idiot. Well, look, I could probably unpack some of those things for you. Oh, hot topic. I'm a little bit charged on that today. People projecting their stuff all over the place. But I digress. So the first step in this aspect of this work is to being able to sort of do a bit of work of understanding the boundaries and putting up an energetic boundary, because then what happens is we sort of corral our own energy body, and then it's like, okay, now I find myself, I say this phrase quite a bit, because then what we get to do is we get to know us versus others, because if that is somebody else's emotional response or issue or projection, it's super useful to know that that's not about you, that's actually them and their energy field, and you just focus on your energy field. Because you know we all have lots of stuff to look at in our own energy body. So the boundaries go up. I'll talk more about boundaries tomorrow. Yeah, lock in boundaries are tomorrow. Hang on, I'm just going to write that down. Boundaries. It's one of my favorites, the energetic boundaries. Almost if I could, or would I say this? Almost if I could only impart one aspect, or if I could like click my fingers and have one thing massively up-leveled in the whole of humanity, it might be boundaries. I don't want to lock that in though. What if something else is more important? Okay, we won't lock that in. But high on the list. So when we've sort of like done a bit of work to learn how to do, put up some energetic boundaries, we go, okay, we're sort of like left standing in our own shit, which is an amazing place to be. Because then it's like, because you can control all of this. This is all yours to control. Out there is not yours to control. So let's focus on what we can control. So you're left standing in your own shit. And then it's like, okay, you get to then start to walk that deep inner healing journey, and it's much easier when it's not merged with other people's energies. And there's a reason I was talking about that, apart from just the fact that it's a really great thing to know. What was that? Oh well, that'll do for now about that. It's about relating, two people relating. Yeah, so with the two people relating, when their energies emerge and neither knows that, knows about these concepts or has been able to be introduced to it, to then do the work to sort of gather up, okay, yeah, this is my stuff and that's their stuff, then what we're doing is we're just triggering each other off all the time. Family members and intimate partners are going to be some of the key people that this relates to, because then a lot of other people as well, but other people you sort of, a lot of the times you might just say, actually, that person does not make me feel good, so I'm just going to get them out of my life, unless there's like a deeper soul contract and for some reason you just keep triggering each other off until you dance the dance. But what happens is we sort of are energetically attracted almost to the people that will trigger us off on some level, because part of the soul journey is to heal those parts of ourself, because those parts of ourself, although they are unique to you, if you are here to heal them, it's because the collective of humanity needs them healed. It needs them gone from the energy field of humanity, so that we can now I'm going in a bit deep, but really so that we can just actually like evolve how we're meant to evolve and not live in these dense patterns of you know, shame, guilt, fear, all of those things. Like that's what we're here to up level, because that is, you know, they're the emotions that keep these inner beliefs cycling and active. I remember I got this download, and I don't know if I ever shared it anywhere, but I got this download that I've got it written on a post-it note somewhere. All of this, you know, I've literally got probably like thousands of post-it notes that have these gems of insights that come when I'm in a one-on-one session. Like they are just, probably should have recorded them over these 11 years, but you know, there's lots of gems that come where I just know it's for the person that, you know, I sort of like, you can say channel them, they come to me, it's for the person that I'm in the session with. And you know, it is a pinpoint for them. Hi, Linz. But I know that relates to the greater collective as well. And there was one where it was around guilt and shame, and I might even have it in my book. And that, you know, those emotional expressions are the end result of the inner belief perpetuating its own existence. So if you have the framework that you are bad or that you've done something bad, it wants to perpetuate its own existence because it's one of those survival constructs that can't just like, it's not liberated to go and just walk out of your energy field. It must stay there because it's a soldier seeking to protect you, right? So that's why they're not just going to actively get up and leave, because they're some of the greatest soldiers that have ever existed, because they're here to protect you. But there comes a time where really they're actually just keeping you small, and you can ask them to stand down. I've got it from here. And so, the soldier's analogy really took me somewhere else. Guilt, shame. No, that wasn't it. Maybe that was it. Yeah, so it's like that when we feel the guilt or we feel the shame, it's not truth. It's not the actual truth. They're not really real. They're just a really low vibrational frequency of human experience that we're looking to transcend beyond. We're looking to not have them in our existence anymore because we don't need them, they're not useful, and they're not real. So when we start to remove the belief systems that allow us to even receive an emotional or reach the, I'll say receive the emotional expression, then shame doesn't exist anymore. You literally, when we have moved on these inner beliefs, you don't, shame's not a thing anymore. Guilt's not a thing anymore. I'm sure that the more we go on, fear won't be a thing anymore either. Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff when you start to unpack it all. Okay, so have I explained? Who cares if I haven't fully explained it, because you can't fully explain it really. I hope that it has made some sense, or that there's some resonance for people in this topic. And I am super open to people asking questions, you know, whether you be live right now and you want to ask a question, or whether you're watching the replay and you want to ask a question, because there's many questions to ask, right? And yeah, this is a really exciting part of the whole picture of understanding self and understanding humans, and that is why this is highly of deep value for me to include it in the what I wish we all knew category. Yeah, because no one teaches us this. Maybe because they didn't know, obviously. You know, no one's holding it. But it's what an amazing time to be alive. What an amazing time to be you know, at the forefront of understanding this aspect of ourselves. It's so empowering because it's like, oh my God, I can take, this is it, this is in my control. It is all in my control, which I love very much. Okay, so I don't know, maybe that's it for today. I don't know how long that was. I'm trying to keep them not too long because then they're a bit more watchable. Just check my notes. Nope, that's it. The energy body, how we connect and pick up someone's vibe, was note number 1. Unhealed wounds like raw nerve endings live in the field of the energy body and they get triggered off by other people's energy field. So the answer to that is to do the deep inner healing work and you know, learn to cultivate your own energetic boundaries, and it's a game changer. Total game changer. It's amazing. All right, please bombard me with questions if you have them. It's been locked in now that tomorrow, part 3 of this series is going to be on energetic boundaries, and I look forward to doing it then. Who knows what time it will be. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I love you all. Bye.